Welcome. Before we begin, make sure you have a chair and either a blanket or maybe a large beach towel. Let's start seated with your feet flat on the floor. That might mean that you scoot a little forward on your chair. If you're wearing glasses, you'll take them off for this first part. And then just bring your palms together and rub until you get a little bit of heat. Once you feel your palms are nice and warm, cup your eyes. Take a few breaths. See if you can relax the weight of your eyes a little bit away from your eyelids. Giving your eyes a little break from always looking outward and instead turning inward. Soften your breath, let it smooth out. And then keeping your eyes closed, begin to lower your hands back to your lap. Notice the light that comes in through the filter of your eyelids. And then begin to blink your eyes open again. Now start to make some neck circles, going in a slow, smooth circle. Not so big that you get any pain or discomfort in your neck. And as you circle the neck around, I want you to look out to the periphery. So your head is making one circle, one size, and your eyes are making a circle with a much bigger size. And now the next time your chin is at your chest, reverse direction. So you are moving, not quickly, but you are moving. So don't focus too sharply on any one spot. And then the next time your chin is at your chest, go ahead and bring your head up. Good. Now scoot your hips all the way to the front edge of your chair and start to walk your hands back towards the backrest. Draw your elbows towards each other and drop your shoulders down. So you'll feel between your shoulder blades that you're drawing the muscles in towards each other. A little bit of a squeeze back there. And then across the front of your chest is getting nice and broad. Across the collarbones. So if that feels okay, start to lift your chin up. See how that creates a bit of a stretch across your chest, around the abdomen perhaps, front of your neck. Good. And then look forward. Nice. And release the arms. Okay. Now leave your left knee pointed forward. And turn your right knee, see if you can get it at about a 90 degree from your left knee. And leave the legs there. Start to inhale, tall spine, not quite that back bend you just had, more of just a tall spine, front and back body. And then twist towards the back of the chair. So you can bring your left hand across to your right leg, and bring your right hand to the back of the chair. And turn. See what you can see behind you. Good. And then unwind. And bring both knees together. And then swing the left leg out so that you have 90 degrees between your two legs. Sit up tall, make space in your spine, and then twist towards the back of your chair. Right hand comes across to the right, to the left leg, and then left hand comes to the back of the chair, and you turn. And you're breathing more into the chest than the abdomen here, but you still have that smooth, steady quality that you had when you cupped your eyes at the beginning of class. And then slowly unwind and bring your knees back together. Okay, now separate the feet about the width of your hips. Take your right hand to either the seat of the chair or to the leg of the chair, whichever is more easy for you to reach. And you're going to just start to take a little side bend towards your right. Notice that that left hip is getting light, and really push the left hip, left foot down. And then reach that left arm up and overhead. So as the left foot is pushing down, the left arm is reaching away from it so that you feel a stretch along the left side of your body. Feel the ribs opening and closing like the bellows of an accordion. And on your next exhale, draw your belly towards your spine, protecting your back as you come up. And we'll take that left hand now, set it either on the seat of the chair or to the leg of the chair, whatever you can reach comfortably, and take a little side bend. Stamping down that right foot, right hip, and then reaching in the opposite direction, the right arm, so that you feel that side bend along the right side. Breathe and feel the ribs move, expanding as you inhale and narrowing as you exhale. And then on your next exhale, draw your belly towards your spine and bring your torso back upright. Good. Okay, now set your feet a little wider than your shoulders and put your forearms on your thighs. And for a moment, just let your body kind of slump. Then push your feet into the floor, push your forearms into your thighs, and elongate the spine forward, a little bit like a turtle stretching its neck out of its shell. And feel that length along your spine. Good. Take another breath here. And then as you exhale, start to reach towards your legs with your hands, maybe grabbing the calves, maybe grabbing the ankles, maybe setting your fingers on the floor, whatever you can reach. Some of you might even reach the legs of the chair. That's really more of a turtle pose. And you can let your head drop now, and the spine starts to slightly round. One more breath here, just letting the blood flow into the head. And then as you're ready, walk your way back out. Slowly walking the hands back up the legs. Good. Okay, so now we're going to turn the chair sideways on the mat. Make sure at least 2 legs are on the mat at all times. And then set your blanket or your beach towel on top of that. And you're going to stand with your feet wide apart, toes turn slightly inward towards the chair. Okay, and you can have the knees bent here or legs straight, whichever works for you. Set your forearms on the seat of the chair and your forehead on your arms. So now we have the head at about the level of the heart. Just see how that feels for you. Legs are still doing the majority of the holding of the weight of your body. If that feels okay, maybe you start to bring your forehead to the seat of the chair and just let your arms come down the legs of the chair. Just see how that works for you. Breathe here. Noticing how your breath changes as you go more and more upside down. Take one more breath. Strong legs here. And then bringing your hands to the seat of the chair, go ahead and straighten your arms so the head's now back above the level of the heart. Okay, now turn towards the front of your mat and you're going to come into a lunge. Your choice whether you have this back knee down or lifted, whatever you feel like doing today. What we're looking to do is stretch the front of that left hip. Okay, so whatever works for you. And you're going to push back. If the knee is lifted, you're going to push back with the back foot, the back heel specifically. Just feel what that's like to open up front of your left hip. And then you're going to come to all fours and bring your hips back towards your feet. Resting your forehead either on the floor or on your forearms like you did before. This is our version of child's pose. Take a breath here. And then come back into all fours. And you're going to bring the other foot forward. So it's the leg that's going to be closest to the chair. Most of us, it'll be the left foot. And again, you can either be down low, low lunge, stretching the hips forward so you feel the front of your right hip, or you can be up high, high lunge, pushing the back heel towards the wall behind you. Breathe here. Feel the strength of your legs, the opening of the front of that left hip. Good. And then return to all fours. And this time we're going to move into downward facing dog. So palms go flat to the floor, tuck your toes under, pick your knees up off the ground, but keep the knees bent for now, and then send your hips up and back, making a ramp like a ski jump from your tailbone to your fingertips. Once you have that ramp, you're welcome to straighten the legs, as long as it doesn't turn your tailbone under. If that's what happens, then keep the knees bent. Take another breath here, pushing hands against the floor and legs towards the wall behind you. And then slowly walk the feet towards the hands. We'll come into a forward bend. Keep the feet as wide as your hips and let your head go. You can bend the knees as much as you like here. Think of this as a standing version of our child's pose. Hands can be on your shins or you can hold opposite elbows. Let your head be heavy. Take another breath. And then bring your hands to your hips. Elongate your spine like that turtle coming out of its shell so that you're halfway up to standing. Then push the feet into the floor and come all the way up. And here you are. Let's stand with the feet about hips width apart, toes spread wide, legs firm, especially right around the knees. We don't want to lock the knees, but we want the knees to be firm. Roll the shoulders back, a hint of that earlier back bend, and find your breath. Smooth, steady breath, in and out through your nose if you're able. And then on your next inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Look up towards your thumbs. As you exhale, turn the palms away from each other and do a little swan dive towards your legs. Put your hands on your shins, rise halfway up like that turtle coming out of its shell. That's an inhale. Then exhale and fold over your legs again. Inhale, open the arms, fly all the way back up. Look up if you're able, and then exhale, turn the palms and swim the arms out and down to your sides. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward and down, hands to your legs. Inhale, rise halfway, look forward, elongating your spine, and then exhale and fold. Inhale, open the arms, fly all the way up to standing. And then as you exhale, swim the arms down by your sides. Okay, let's take one more round. Inhaling, sweep out and up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, rise halfway, elongate your spine. And exhale, fold. Inhale, open the arms, fly all the way back up to standing. And as you exhale, swim the arms out and down to your sides. Good, just pause here for a moment and feel the blood pumping, heart beating, your breath. Good, okay. Now take that blanket off of your chair. Turn your chair forward again and have a seat. And we're going to come into a posture called eagle. So start with the arms here. Make a big X with your arms, and let's set the right arm on top of the left. If you can, try and get the elbows to cross. And then bend your elbows, pointing the fingers up towards the ceiling. See if you can capture that top thumb and reach the arms up towards the ceiling. So you're separating that space between the shoulder blades. Good. And then keeping the arms here, take the left thigh and cross it over the right thigh. And squeeze the two thighs towards each other. So you're wrapping around some imaginary center line. Good. And then we release the leg and release the arms. Nice. And just pause. See how that feels. Okay, let's try the other side. So now we make an X with the left arm on top. Bend at the elbows. See if you can capture that top thumb. And then scoop the arms a little bit away from you and up towards the ceiling. Opening up that space between the shoulder blades. And then cross right thigh over left and squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Breathe. Feeling a scooping up of the arms and a drawing inward of the legs. Nice. And then release the legs and release the arms. So actual eagle pose is a balancing pose. And when we take any balancing practice, we want to be very aware of where our eyes are looking. In yoga, we call this dristi. So we're going to play a little bit with dristi using the eagle arms. Let's start by crossing right on top of left, bend the elbows, and try to hook that top thumb. Now, gaze at something close to you. So something on your wrist, your shoulder, your sleeve, your finger, something close. And then look past your arms at something far away. So look close and then far away. Dristi up close and then dristi far away. Good. And then release. So we're just playing with tacking back and forth with the dristi. In a moment, we'll just hold the dristi in one spot. Let's take the left arm on top now, bend the elbows, see if you can capture that top thumb. Scoop the arms a little bit away, and then play with your dristi. Up close, somewhere along the arm or hand, and then far away. Look close, look far away. Once more, dristi close, and dristi far away. Good, and then release. Now let's try that as a balancing pose. So you'll start standing with the knees bent, and you're going to wrap right arm on top, bend the elbows, and capture the top thumb. Now you're going to use a dristi that is far away, something that doesn't move. Gaze there and hold your gaze there as you drape your left thigh over the right. Now the standing leg has to remain bent. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Gaze at that one spot. Keep breathing. And then unwrap the legs, unwrap the arms, and stand. Let's try it again on the other side. So now it's Left arm on top, bend the elbows, capture the top thumb. Bend both knees, gaze at one spot, something that doesn't move, and then drape right thigh over the left and squeeze the inner thighs as you breathe, as you look. And then we release, unwinding the legs, unwinding the arms. Take a breath. Good. Okay, now find your chair once again. Turn it sideways once again. This should look familiar. You're going to come back into this straddle fold. So stand with your feet wide apart. Toes turn slightly inward towards the legs of the chair. And then take your forehead to something, either the forearms or your head directly to the seat of the chair, whichever feels best for you. Legs are strong here, knees firm. Breathe. And then bringing your hands back to the seat of the chair, straighten your arms. And then come to the floor. And we're going to come into a back bend called Camel. So for this back bend, we're going to use the seat of the chair to kind of guide us. And I'm going to roll up my blanket here to give me a nice tall cushion on the seat of the chair. I may or may not get my head there, depending on how flexible I am today. So I'm going to slide my feet underneath the seat of the chair. Start with the arms down by your sides and roll the shoulder blades in towards each other. This is just like what we did when we were sitting in the chair. Roll the shoulder blades in towards each other and get close enough so that you can hold the legs of the chair. Okay? And from there, you'll start to walk your hands down the legs of the chair, easing yourself back. And maybe, if the cushion's in the right spot, maybe your head will go and rest on the cushion. And then you come back up, camel pose. Once you're done, I'm going to push that chair a little bit out of the way so that you can come onto your back and rest on your back with your legs on the chair. And I like to have my head on a blanket. Okay. Pause here, just letting your back reset. And then take your right ankle, set it on top of your left thigh, what we call the figure 4 pose. And with your right hand, you're just going to gently nudge the right leg a little bit away from you so that you start to feel a stretch around the right hip and buttock area. If you don't yet feel that as a stretch, then you walk the left foot closer to the front edge of your chair. And then we switch. So now it's the left ankle on top of your right thigh. Again, start just with the hinge kind of action with your left hip, left knee moving away from you. And if that's not enough of a stretch, then you walk the right foot in closer to the front edge of the chair. Getting that stretch now in the outer left hip buttock area. And then you release. Keep both knees close together and swing both legs over towards the front edge of your mat. Now it's very common here for the back shoulder, so in this case it's your left shoulder, to come off the ground. So I want you to find a compromise between your left knee and your left shoulder. Left shoulder goes down, left knee comes up. It's a little bit like a teeter-totter. So find that perfect placement where you still get a nice opening in your left shoulder, but the knees don't necessarily stay together. Okay. And then slowly bring your knees back up. I like one at a time. And then going over to the back of your mat. Again, find that compromise between right shoulder and right knee. They may need to come quite a bit apart. Breathe. And then one leg at a time, bring your feet back onto the seat of the chair. And again, if you're wearing glasses, you'll take them off at this point. And we're going to take a breathing practice called Brahmari, where you'll cover with your 4 fingers over your eyes. It's not quite the cupping we did at the beginning, but it's similar. At the same time, you're going to be using your thumbs to plug the flap of your ear. But don't do that yet because you still need the instructions. So you're going to inhale, and as you exhale, you'll make a humming sound. And with your ears plugged, you'll really be able to hear the quality of your hum. I want you to focus on 5 slow, smooth, meaning no catches or bumpy rough edges to your hums. Okay, 5 rounds. If you finish before I do, just sit quietly and listen to your breath. So cup your 4 fingers over your eyes, rest your thumbs right at that flap of your ear, and when you're ready, plug your ears and begin the hum. 5 rounds. Release your hands from your eyes, but keep the eyes closed, just letting that light gently filter in. Notice your breath. Are you able to continue that smooth, slow exhale as if you were still humming? Relax the weight of your legs, your hips, your hands. Soften your shoulders. Relax your jaw and your tongue. Release the eyes away from your eyelids. Release the weight of your whole head. And just rest here. Now take a slightly deeper breath. Gently swallow. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And as you're ready, bring your knees into your chest. Roll towards the front edge of your mat. See if you can do this while keeping your eyes closed. And then using your hands, slowly roll yourself up to sitting, head last. Once the head is up, go ahead and blink your eyes open and bring your palms together. Thank you. Namaste.